What is up, YouTube? Today I'm going to be talking about what you are probably missing in the Bitcoin chart. So let's get right into this. Before we get into Bitcoin though, let's check out the total market cap, which still needs to see some type of a rejection off this line that we drew. We got a little bit of a red candle right here, but overall we kept seeing upside pushing towards this resistance. So you guys, this is a really important part for the total market cap. If we can keep pushing up and really make this line invalidated, then I see a lot more strength coming for the bulls on the upside, especially if any of these resistance levels are broken above where they have rejected all along this period here. If it gets out of this trading range and actually breaks above, we're going to see a lot more upside on the short term across the map in all of the altcoins and Bitcoin. Now, the thing about this is we have two candlestick patterns popping up kind of at the same time. So let me just show you what they are. So on the daily candlesticks, we have a bullish engulfing candlestick right here that I went ahead and circled. This means that the green candlestick completely engulfed the red candlestick. And you can see here's an example of the bullish engulfing candlestick. This is one of my favorite candlestick patterns for seeing continuation. So let me just show you the thing that's kind of conflicting this pattern though, because we have the exact polar opposite pattern over here on the left. We have a bearish engulfing candlestick right here, and here's an example of one on Google. As you can see, the red candlestick completely engulfs the green candlestick. So we have conflicting patterns here, a bullish and a bearish pattern, and because of that, it's kind of fell in the middle of where those two patterns occurred. So this 50% kind of level here is going to be really vital for the entire market cap. Really, the next few days are going to be super key for crypto. Our support levels haven't changed at all, you guys. 125 and $111 billion are the main ones we're watching. If either of these fail, we're going to see a new low, in my opinion, with the total market cap. 101 billion would just be taken out very quickly, especially if the $111 billion level is failed. Also, a reminder that the volume is higher than we've seen really along the entire correction or bear market, except for the little bull trap that occurred in May. Really, even this is equal volume to what we are seeing today. CoinMarketCap.com is in the green today. We have a lot of coins on the upside, Litecoin with 3%, Binance with 5%. And even some that are pumping really hard, like Cryptocom Chain, or CRO, which is up 146% today. So this is our top mover. The next competing would be Maximine Coin, I think is how you say it, and that is up 29% today. And since you guys love for me to run over the top mover, here is Cryptocom Chain, and this is the 4-hour chart, and as you can see, it just completely blew past the previous high, the previous all-time high, as soon as it started to get momentum. Now this is really, really parabolic. It went up 146% in 24 hours, you guys. So this means you really should not be looking at this coin as a buying opportunity. This is what we call classic FOMO. If you're buying this high, it's probably because you're expecting future potential gains, and it never works out, especially after it's gone up this high in this short of a period of time. Wait for a retracement, which is just a fancy word for a drop, and then get in when the prices are actually more reasonable and cheap. This is completely overvalued on the short term, and there's no reason to expect continuation upside for this trend. It's much more likely that this market does something like this, drops down lower, pumps back up just a little bit after that drop, then kind of rounds out, and then could see continuation on the upside and potentially even go up for a new all-time high. But right now, it's way too risky to be buying Cryptocom Chain. Crypto.com chain is directly related to Crypto.com, or what used to be called Monaco. These are cryptocurrency cards that you can fill with your crypto and spend where Visa is accepted. And as you can see, this one is in a nice big wedge. So I'm going to watch this one very closely. I have been for a while now, actually, but especially as the Crypto.com chain is popping off, I wouldn't be at all surprised if we do break out in the rest of the market cap if Crypto.com follows shortly behind it due to the relation of these projects. So Bitcoin has been getting a lot of coverage lately, and the main reason for this is because it bounced off of its lows. You know, this low that it reached at around the $3,200 level and has seen upside, and that made all of the altcoins start to pick up as well. Now, there's something that's very, very vital in the Bitcoin chart that we should all be watching, because we are approaching a major confluence in resistance. And this is why I'm watching the total market cap so closely, and why I'm watching all of these altcoins really, really closely right now, especially over the next few days, to see how they react and what type of price action and candlestick patterns that we get over this period of time to give us more information as what's going to happen in the next month. Now, since 2018, when Bitcoin rejected off its highs and came down to the $6,000 level, started bouncing, we've created a downtrending resistance line, and I have this labeled as this black line here with the red rejections off of that resistance along the way down. And we've actually gotten really, really close to this line currently. And these are 2-day candlesticks, so that means that within the next week, we're going to be pushing and kissing this line. And it's going to be really, really important for the short-term price of Bitcoin, whether we can breach above this line, find support onto it, and push higher, or whether we get rejected and our cup and handle pattern fails and the Adam and Eve fails, and this ends up being a double top. So here's our cup and handle right here. So if this resistance line is broken above, the downtrending one, and the horizontal resistance line, that gives us full-blown confirmation that we're going to push higher. And on the other hand, if we get a rejection off this downtrending resistance and a rejection off that horizontal resistance line, this would be our double top pattern. And once this green level right here, as you can see, I have this alerted, so it will text my phone if this level fails. Once that fails, we would likely see further downside continuation, and that would give you full confirmation of that downside. So if you do not have this line drawn yet, I know that some of the other pros out there are watching this line as well, but a lot of people are actually missing it. So go ahead, open up the chart, draw this line, double click on the line, and then go to the alerts tab and press create alert. Now that's going to email you, and if you have SMS enabled, it'll text you when that level is breached above, which would give us confirmation for the bulls on the short term to see higher highs and a lot more money coming into the space really quickly. Another thing that I'm watching is the Fishnet. Now this is a little secret weapon that I pull out in Bitcoin every once in a while and a lot of the altcoins. And what we're really looking for in a full-blown reversal of the entire market is for the Fishnet to see a full swap. So this is the previous market cycle for Bitcoin that we've looked over plenty of times in the past. And as you can see, we are probably somewhere around in this area of the cycle, of the full market cycle based on the Fishnet. And this is where the Fishnet gets pretty thick, but we're significantly under the net, kind of riding on the bottom as support. Now, once the net falls all into one really, really tight zone, and we get above the net again, and it finds support onto the Fishnet, that's when you get confirmation of a big picture reversal, and you can really, really start to load into your positions because you know it's going to round out and shoot for new highs. So right here, Bitcoin is riding the bottom of the net just like it did as it started to bottom out in the last cycle. And what we really want to watch for, probably this year we'll see it, is some type of a break up into the net and the net to get really, really small. So all these lines come into one low volatility area and for the price to breach above that net. If you want to add the Fishnet for yourself, go ahead and click on indicators and then just search Fishnet and you'll see very quickly the Fishnet SMA. It's got about 205 likes, and shout out to the creator of this indicator. So if you were missing that line, go ahead and add it to your chart. I would highly recommend that you also set an alert at the short-term resistance levels and the short-term support levels so that you're aware if these levels break, and then make plans around these levels so that you can have capital preservation and a plan of action for your swing trading, if you're into that, to profit off of these moves. Now, money just doesn't pop out of thin air, so if we do see more upside in crypto and we have the momentum to actually break above this downtrending line, it's going to be because of a rejection in the stock market. If we reject off this major resistance, it would actually confirm a pattern that is pretty bearish, which is the head and shoulders pattern right here that we see forming. Here's your example of that pattern. And the S&P would fall back down to at least this short-term support level and potentially lower. And that would mean a lot of money getting moved around from the stock market into stuff like silver, crypto, and oil. You guys keep your eyes peeled, keep your alerts set, especially watch over the next week as we reach these resistance levels and this confluence of resistance, and be prepared for both outcomes. Have a plan for both outcomes. Whatever the market decides to do, there's volatility incoming and there's a lot of money to be made. Thank you guys so much for tuning into today's video. Go ahead and hit that like button. Follow me on social media in the links below in the description box, and I will see you guys in the next videos. As always, stay profitable out there.